in the little bird, the light one, it's actually pretty easy to re-arm. There's like 2 hydras per boxes, right? So that's 7 boxes in total. But this thing, you're looking at more than 15.
Quick question.
Something?
During the campaigns, do we have access to adjusting the pylons or no?
Unfortunately, no. All assets that we purchase have a fixed loadout. Okay.
Okay.
We cannot change them in any way, unfortunately. But the loadouts that are provided in general are good enough. They don't have the sweetest things, okay? But they're good. They're more than enough to deal with most threats for their price ranges. Okay.
Got it. They're functional.
Yeah. So this thing is twice the price of the light one. So it's about 500 each. And for that price, as I said, not as useful. You may go, oh yeah, miniguns are good. They're 50 cal. Yeah, they're not very accurate because 3 kilometer range 50 cal shots. They're not even high explosive, so you have to land the shot itself from 3 kilometers. That's not a realistic expectation, and the only thing that's going to be good for is maybe the occasional suppressive fire. But remember, we're fighting AI here, not real players. So suppressive fire is not a thing, and maybe you can increase the Hydra per volley, but as I said, personally, not worth the price at all. So last on the little bird lineup is the heavy one. This thing though, I love this thing. Not because it's got the miniguns, I love it because it's got a dagger. If you don't know what daggers are, these are guided hydras. Laser guided hydras to be specific. So, unless, if you don't know, the hydras actually have the kinetic capability to penetrate the hull of a BMP if you're in the effective range, which is 1.5. Meaning you're not going to be in the effective range, that doesn't mean they're less effective, okay? If you can punch the hull of the hull of a BMP, you can destroy a shulker, you can destroy a BTR, you can volley fire a fucking troop transport and kill everyone with this thing pretty accurately, okay? This is basically a DIY fucking Apache, okay? The daggers have a range of less than 4 kilometers, unfortunately. Normally these can range up to 6, but in the little bird it's less than 4. So you're pushing the range in general. But as I said, if one Hydra can wipe half of a squad, imagine what you can do with 8 of them. But they're pixel precise. Okay, these things are very good. Don't go around, trying to minigun things. Okay, dagger is the way to go with these. Okay, so that's the little birds. Also, I forgot to mention, with the heavy variants, you are Perseph's. You must have a co-pilot on that thing, okay? Because the daggers, the hydras, are fired by the co-pilot, not the pilot. Okay. Next up, this piece of shit. So this thing is basically the medium little bird with 4 less than optimal hellfires. Okay. Well, what do I mean by that is, normally the hellfires have a range of 8 kilometers, and they are heat, so high explosive anti-tank, meaning they can punch through any sorts of armor if you land them properly. But on this thing, they have 4 kilometer range because the sensors on this thing suck ass. Sometimes because of a bug, you can have problems penetrating even the hull of a Guardian. So penetration is literally hit or miss. The tracking systems also on the CPGs, it also sucks. So don't think the hellfires on these are reliable. Okay, but the hydras are amazing. This thing has its onboard HMD system, similar to the Apache. Okay, and one beautiful thing that helps you with is the pilot who fires the hydras can see where the cannon is pointing if the CPG enables his laser. Okay, and the CPG can basically aim the laser at targets and say, "Hey, dude, let's fire hydras here." And you can zoom in on the pilot seat to increase accuracy. If you want, you can even right-click to look at the CPG sight. So when it comes to deploying hydras, this is the best there is. Okay, this is the premium hydra truck. Other than that, a CPG stands for co-pilot gun. Okay, he's the guy in the front. There's a difference between the co-pilot and the CPG. For example, in the Little Bird, the term is co-pilot. In the Apache and this thing, it is the CPG, the co-pilot gun. Okay. Lastly, the cannon. If you're curious, it has a range of 2.5 kilometers. Right. Fires HE 20mm, not a factor because you're not going to be firing from safe BP anyway. So don't bother. Okay. Hydras and the occasional Hellfire. That's the way to go with these things. The prices for what it does is a little bit ludicrous. Because remember, the medium Little Bird also has 38 Hydras. So the only upside to this is a half-working Hellfire, which is not worth the price at all, if you ask me. But if you give them one by the battalion, like the last campaign, you know, it's good to use, it's fun. Alright, now this thing, I will not talk about much, because I have a whole fucking document about it that you can check, and I'm gonna put it on the air tab for you, okay? It covers the weapon specifications, how to start it, how to operate it, what you should do, what the startup procedures are, all those stuff, okay? So, I will show you some advanced tools on this thing later on, but I'm not going to talk about it in detail here. Okay. But the Apache is, before I actually continue, costs 2,000, 2,000, and 1,000 on fuel. So it is very expensive. Okay, it's 2 days worth of supplies. So take care of that thing. That thing is awesome.
And you said an LAV is a third of the price.
Yeah.
So
3 LAVs should be about 2,500, like a little bit over that, over the patch.
How much is an LAV for resources?
I believe 700. Hang on, 600, 700, about 400 fuel-ish. I'm not sure, but I've heard someone say like you can buy a lot of things for a single patch. You can buy like 2 Bradleys or 3 LAVs, all that stuff. Like the strikers, for example, are 300, 100, and 200. Imagine how many strikers you can buy for a patch. Like, yeah, you can basically give everyone in the company a striker for the price of 1 Apache. Okay, but the price is well worth it because that thing is a fucking Terminator. Okay.
Yeah. One more question: is the auto launch feature for the flares still a thing? Because I've been getting like some on and off answers.
Say that again, please.
The auto launch feature, Apache.
What auto start?
No, auto launch for the flares, like for them.
Ah, yeah. In the Apache, if you set this stuff right, you don't need to do any defensive stuff. For example, you can automate the jammers. You can the flares can also be automated, as the best RWR in the game can cover 50 kilometers. So Apache has a lot of defensive things going for it. Doesn't mean you should rely on them, but they help if you want to pick.
Is it the one with the radar on it, or?
Yeah,
The
there is no non-radar option anymore. It's been removed from the build list, so there's only the radar version. So
Oh, wait, that's
for
OP.
for the non-radar version, we have the Viper for that. Normally, like 3-4 campaigns ago, we had the non-FCR Apache. It's been replaced by the Viper, basically.
Yo, Foobar.
What's up?
First, I just have 2 things to say. First is good luck
Aren't-
with the wedding. Second, you suck.
Thank you.
Everyone.
Right back
Bye.
at you, Spas.
Adios.
Anyway,
I'm out.
cheers, man.
Cheers.
So, if there are no other questions, I'm going to start talking about communications now. Let's go back into the building, because I feel like speed is going to make a lot more noise, so let's get back in there. Don't disturb him, let him do his thing, let's just get in the building. Okay, so the juicy part, the communication. Okay, this is gonna be a long one, so let's take a 2-minute break. Grab yourself a drink or snack, whatever you want. Okay, then we'll continue because this will be at least 20-30 minutes. Okay.
Yeah,
So-
thank you. Oh,
Got it.
Be right back.
I'll be right back.